welcome to the Art Startup Challenge live event, where we celebrate creativity, business, and community. Please welcome your MC, Nicole Reed.
I want to say hello and welcome, and I'm so glad that you're all here. I'm Nicole Reed, the General Manager of Community Futures South Fraser. Thank you so much for joining us for this special evening, the 2025 Art Startup Challenge live pitch event. We respectfully acknowledge that we are gathered on Soltamuk, the unceded traditional lands of the Stalo, the people of the river, where we live, work, and create. At Community Futures, we believe that creative entrepreneurs are a vital part of our thriving local economy. Whether you're starting a handmade goods brand, launching a gallery, or turning your art into a business, we're here to help. From business planning and one-on-one coaching to flexible financing and practical workshops, we support artists in building sustainable, income-generating ventures. We understand that art isn't just a passion, it's also a livelihood. And that's why we're proud to work alongside artists as they turn their ideas into income and their creativity into community impact. Over the past 8 weeks, the Startup Challenge participants have taken part in a business development journey designed to help turn their creative work into thriving, sustainable enterprises. Tonight is the culmination of that work, and we're so excited to celebrate with you. This event is also being live streamed, so a big welcome to everyone tuning in online on our YouTube channel. Here's what's coming up. Tonight we have live pitches from 6 amazing finalists, real-time feedback from our panel of judges, a chance for you to vote for your favorite artist business in our People's Choice Award, drinks and appetizers for you to enjoy throughout the evening. And now I would like to just take a moment to introduce the judges who will be offering feedback and helping to determine tonight's grand prize winners. Special guest judge, Mayor Ken Popoff from the city of Chilliwack. John Thomas with UFV's Esposito Family Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Yay! Christy Vandenbosch, board member with Chilliwack Arts Council. And Nettie Tam, business development manager for SEPCO. Woo! You're supposed to wave, Nettie. Tricia Bueller, board member with Chilliwack Arts Council. Yay! Thank you all so much for being here and contributing and lending your insight and support. And now, before we jump into the pitches, I'd like to invite up Lise Oakley, Executive Director of the Chilliwack Arts Council, to speak about how our journey together started, as well as things that are happening here at the Arts Council. Lise has been an incredible partner in this challenge and an unwavering advocate for arts in our community. Welcome, Lise.
Thank you. How's everyone doing tonight? Good? Yeah, thumbs up. I'm Lise. I was recently on the stage. Beautiful room, Tim, thank you. The Chilliwack Arts Council has been around since 1960, so if anyone was born around then, you might remember the Chilliwack Arts Council. We've seen many iterations over the years. We're moving into a new era. I can feel it. We're seeing growth, rejuvenation, partnerships. The Art Startup Challenge is an 8-week program, as Nicole mentioned. Just to bring up some numbers, we received 55 applications for the program. So there is a need for building business skills in the arts world. And one of our roles was to select 15 participants. So we actually had a total of 16, and 6 will be presenting tonight. So that's quite a journey. So we met, thank you to the Museum of Chilliwack for hosting us for 7 of the 8 weeks. The 6 candidates will be presenting tonight for a chance to win $5,000 and a second runners-up prize of $750. I want to thank board members from the Chilliwack Arts Council, Aaron Moran, for his involvement in creating criteria and leading the selection process. So this is new to us, so we really had to think about equitable and fair process in selecting those 15 candidates. Christy and Tricia for judging, and also to Nicole, who came to me in December, I believe. We sat for coffee at Azuri's and kind of mentioned this business partnership, and we said, yeah, let's do it. And then next thing you know, we're here in June, and we have a great audience, so thank you for attending. If you're not familiar with the Arts Council, we do have a website, chilliwackartscouncil.com. We do the Mural Festival. We have an anonymous art show happening next Friday, and hope to see you around. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Lise. It's awesome. We had so much fun at Azuri's planning our little adventure that we're on here today. So before we move into the finalist pitches, I'd like to take a moment to thank our incredible sponsors that you see here on the screen. We're not going to go into any detail about them yet. You'll hear about that a little bit later, but please know that your support has made a real difference in making the Art Startup Challenge possible. All right, who's ready to get started? Yeah. We have, as we've mentioned, 6 incredible entrepreneurs stepping up tonight to pitch their businesses live for a shot at the ultimate prize package and to win your hearts for the coveted People's Choice Award. Each pitch will be 5 minutes maximum. When time's up, if they've run over, you'll hear me ring the bell. That's the cue for our finalists to wrap it up. And then we'll roll into 5 minutes of questions from our esteemed panel of judges. So be prepared. Those are the hard-hitting ones. Let's cheer them on, show them some love, and get this pitch party started. We're going to kick things off with our first finalist, Melissa Kanzerski. Melissa is a graphic recorder and facilitator behind Drawing Together. She turns dialogue into powerful visuals that build connection and help people reflect on what really matters. Welcome, Melissa.
So, by show of hands, how many of you have experienced graphic recording and facilitation before? Okay, I see a few of you. My name is Melissa Kanzerski, and I'm the owner of Drawing Together, a consultancy that offers graphic recording, facilitation, and illustration services. I'm here tonight to pitch my business, showing how investing in this unique art-infused professional practice supports innovation, understanding, and people drawing together on issues that matter through the power of visuals. So to those of you who do not know what graphic recording and facilitation is, it's the real-time illustration of what is being shared in the room. So our target market is the public sector, mid to large size NGOs and businesses, and partnering with consulting firms that support planning and engagement in local government. I show up to meetings, conferences, or events with large format paper, markers, or an iPad and a projector, and I listen to the voices in the room. I capture the key themes in the heart using some text and visuals while people in the room watch this incredible, unforgettable visual summary unfold. As a follow-up, the client is provided with a memorable artifact that they can effectively share out and efficiently communicate what was collectively experienced in that space. Following COVID, I was invited by the Vancouver Airport to listen and visually map out their renewed vision and roles of their new team. The image seen here was a focal point in a YVR staff room, keeping them focused and grounded while planes took off again. Indigenous clients have invited me to record the wisdom of their elders and the voices of their community members, making their values and vision very apparent through the visual summary. And locally, Chilliwack Healthier Communities commissioned me to create an infographic that evolved into a resource booklet on poverty. You can find it under your seat or at a library resource rack near you. Through dedication, networking, and ongoing professional development, I've grown to be identified as a professional in the field and subcontract for bigger graphic facilitation consultancies with over 100 meetings since 2017, 25 of which took place last year. And all of this work has been generated organically with no website, no promotional tools, and minimal business infrastructure. I'm in the Art Start Challenge because this is no longer a side hustle. I'm ready to take control of my business, establish business systems, and grow with purpose and direction. So let's talk about my business goals and how $5,000 will support this vision. Coming out of this challenge, I've set 3 goals for myself, 2 short-term and 1 long-term. To start, I'd like to take on 5 additional clients by December 2026 through marketing and sales efforts. I plan on getting there by investing in sales and marketing tools, including a website, creating client management systems supported through software, and then strategically networking with potential clients through my existing networks, as well as using LinkedIn or in-person networking events. My second goal is to be selected for opportunities in competitive processes. I would use funds to take a public engagement training, IAP2, which is sought after credential that will give me a competitive advantage when bidding for opportunities or selling myself to consulting firms as a partner to be included in grant or RFP applications. Building off my short-term goals, my 5-year goal is to confidently have enough revenue to hire on admin support and then work towards mentoring someone to subcontract for me. Because of the value of graphic recording and the going rate set by the industry, services are generally offered at half and full day rates. A seasoned graphic recorder such as myself can charge out $3,000 a day and $2,200 for a half day. We also do custom illustration work to support initiatives, which we bill out hourly at $200 an hour and quote per job. To conclude, from a business perspective, this is profitable work. I'm positioned well as being one of a handful of experienced practitioners in BC. I'm driven, well-networked, and most importantly, this work is seen as valuable. The images we create make their way in front of decision makers that shape futures. This work gives focus, drives purpose, and supports systemic change. This is why I do this work and why I'm inviting you to draw together with me through investing in my business. Help me grow and put my pen to good work. Thank you.
Melissa, thank you. Great presentation.
Thank you.
One of the questions that I have, you talked about hiring and where you would be in 5 years. Mm-hmm. Can you expand a little more in terms of what do you see in terms of your vision, in terms of your whole rollout within now to 5 years?
Good question. So my rollout plan would be that once I get to a specific once I get to a revenue point that I feel that, once I get to a point financially where I feel like I can afford to have some admin assistance, then I would get a virtual assistant to help out a certain number of hours a week. And then I would, initially, I just want to do the work. So being able to set up the business and be able to set up systems like client management, being able to have somebody to help with contracting and booking is the ultimate goal so that it can allow me to move back into a role of doing this practice. So I think it would be a slow start at first because you can hire them part-time and then eventually move into, as I grow and I get more people involved, or more clients, then I will have to scale up in order to be able to sustain those relationships in a professional way.
Thank you for your presentation, Melissa. I just wanted to get a sense of your visual summaries, which are extremely impactful. How do you see artificial intelligence impacting your business? Is it going to help your business, or do you see it as potential competition down the line?
I think, well, AI helps business practices together. So, you know, the back end of my business will definitely be supported by AI. In terms of the practice that I am delivering myself, do I see it as being competitive? No. I am like listening, I'm in the space, I'm facilitating. People are hiring me for being present and being able to do that. Until a computer is on wheels and able to have mannerisms like a human being, I don't see that as being a threat to me delivering that service.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, being a part of CHC for many, many years and being at the inception of your brochure that you put together, I don't, what's that, 5, 6, 7 years ago, whoever it is, great job, and it the visuals are so easy to understand and correlate to, and you know, I guess to really relate to. How can you up your game
with that? So there's definitely like a licensing opportunity with that. I've already pitched it to the United Way. They've been interested in taking that booklet, and I designed it in such a way that you could just replace, like there's some definite unique illustrations in there that are unique to communities, but a lot of the message is quite the same. Poverty is poverty is poverty. And so that is one way that I can leverage some of this work I've done already to insert it into make revenue.
Well done. Very well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi.
Big fan of this project. I think this is a great idea, and I would have benefited from it a lot in many situations. My question for you is, this is something that requires someone to be able to think on their feet, to quickly disseminate information and interpret it graphically. If you are mentoring in the hopes of having someone to work alongside you or under you, is there a large pool of trained candidates that you can draw from, or how long would you have to wait for someone to be trained up to be able to participate?
So one of my strategies, it would be to like partner with UFE and potentially like in continuing ed. There's like workshop courses, like how to be a facilitator type workshops where if I deliver a service like that and I'm able to kind of connect with people that are interested, do presentations to art students, for example, build relationships that way. There's definitely ways to kind of screen interest and define suitability. So I think by, offering like a weekend workshop on what it is will allow me to see people's skill and their potential and then kind of select from there.
Okay.
So that's, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, good job. Great job, Melissa. Before we dive into our next pitch, I want to take a moment to give a big shout out to one of our amazing sponsors, Chilliwack Economic Partners Corporation, or as most of us know them, SEPCO. SEPCO plays a key role in helping our local economy grow and thrive. They're champions for business development, investment attraction, and creating the kind of community where entrepreneurs can truly succeed. From large-scale projects to grassroots support, SEPCO is all about making sure that Chilliwack stays a vibrant place to live, work, and start something new. We're grateful for your support, Nettie, tonight and for your ongoing commitment to building up local business, just like the ones you're about to see on stage. Let's give a big round of applause to SEPCO. Okay, our next finalist is Wesley Dunlop. Wesley is the airbrush artist behind Ethereal Airbrush, blending realism, atmosphere, and abstract expression into bold custom work and fine art. Let's welcome Wesley to the stage.
Hello, everyone. Ethereal Airbrush is a versatile visual arts business that offers numerous customization options while delivering premium craftsmanship to the client. I help bring unique visions to life through custom paint, murals, and fine art. But my ultimate aim is the rejuvenation of an undervalued art form. I love what I do, and I believe this is what I am meant to do. For a period of time, I had lost my artistic spirit and my sense of direction, but I rediscovered my passion for art after being drawn to the unique qualities of airbrushing. Nothing is quite like it. This specialized tool led me to realize what I'm truly passionate about. I now have 10 years of self-taught experience with an airbrush and started my business 5 years ago in 2020. Airbrushing gave me a new beginning, so now I want to return the favor. Airbrushing is an often overlooked and underappreciated art form. Many of you may not even know what an airbrush is, what it looks like, or the incredible things it can achieve. The lower mainland of BC faces a severe shortage of skilled airbrush artists, and clients who seek custom paint jobs don't know where to turn. This scarcity extends to the broader airbrush community, creating high demand for classes, workshops, and airbrush supply distributors. While there's a lack of airbrush recognition in our province, this also creates an opportunity. My aim is to cultivate a niche airbrushing community through lessons, workshops, and the sales of supplies. My dream is to make Chilliwack the epicenter of airbrushing in BC, and eventually in all of Canada. Because competition for my services is minimal, this scarcity combined with my experience creates a gap in the industry and increases the value of my skills. Ethereal Airbrush is well positioned to fill the market gaps for premium quality, custom artwork, skilled training, and the distribution of airbrush supplies. The majority of my demographics specifically related to custom paint are motorcycle and hot rod enthusiasts. These clients generally possess disposable income and value craftsmanship, nostalgia, and self-expression. BC has the largest concentration of hot rods and classic cars in Canada, and also a very deep and historical connection to Harley-Davidson culture. Moreover, there is an untapped market of niche hobbyists and artists looking to explore other mediums and have expressed interest in classes. While murals and fine artwork will always remain a part of my business, they are highly competitive industries and will not be the main focus of my marketing strategies. For the remainder of 2025, my projected average revenue will be roughly $5,000 a month, totaling $47,000 for the year. My total expenses will equate to 40% of that total, and my projected net profit margin is 60%. I anticipate rapid initial growth of 50 to 60% in the first year, followed by a steady increase of 15 to 20% annually in subsequent years. This growth will be driven by our expanding marketing efforts and strengthened presence across various sectors. My most urgent goal is to book 6 months of work in advance. Through deposits and payment plans, this will provide me with steady income and stability. If I received the $5,000 funding, I would first use it to build a strong marketing campaign and improve my branding, website, and SEO, key components to expanding my market reach. Secondly, I would use some of this funding to invest in my own development as an artist and teacher, enrolling in advanced airbrush courses, ensuring continuous skill improvement and growth. And thirdly, a portion of the funding would be used to upgrade studio equipment in preparation for launching in-person classes in August 2025. Let's keep this art form alive by introducing a younger audience, sparking their interest, and teaching them a valuable new skill. Through my own self-expression, I aim to help others express themselves and connect with their own personal values. As an artist and father, I hope to encourage everyone to follow their passion and discover their purpose in life. I've never been so certain about my path, and my dedication to what I love will continue to drive Ethereal Airbrush forward and take it to new heights. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for your presentation and for listening to our feedback from before. Just wondering where you're talking about having your classes starting in August, or workshops, sorry. Where would you be holding those? You've got your price point for that?
I do, yeah. I plan to start them in my home studio.
Okay.
I have a garage space that I am confident will be well equipped for that. I have ways of exhausting the paint out of the room. So I will start there. And pricing for the class will range about $250 to $500 a day, a half day being $250 per student. And I plan to start with a very small classroom. So maybe it could be one-on-one classes or anywhere between 2 and 4 students.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Wesley. Thank you so much for your presentation. Your craftsmanship and your artwork is absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
But you have no competition in the Valley right now. that's not going to be that way forever. Either you're going to teach your own competition or we'll have people moving in. So do you have a specialty genre or something that makes your designs more appealing for the people who are looking for custom work?
I believe I have a versatile array of what I can paint, and my subject matter, from my subject matter to my substrates that I paint on, I haven't found any other airbrush artist that does all three. So I find my advantage is in that area. Also, I'm trying to move away from the generic designs that you usually see on Harleys and hot rods and move to something new. And I've always loved fantasy artwork, so I'm kind of focused on that, as well as portraits and those areas.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Yeah.
And kind of on that, but just expanding on what you do. Yes, your work looks awesome, and yes, you're right about. I'm not in the hot rod world anymore, but I have been in the past, and there's a car show coming up. Put a little plug, June 21st or 22nd coming up here. So come on, a little plug there. Anyway, so have you considered maybe getting into murals or something other than just? I'm not going to say smaller, but you know the work that you're doing right now is very intricate work. Have you thought about expanding your horizons a little bit?
I actually have painted murals. I've painted 2 in Abbotsford. I worked with the Business Improvement Association there to subsidize the mural work with business owners. So I have done 2 about 500 square foot murals, so I do have experience there. I've done interior murals as well in studios and nurseries. So yeah, I have worked in that world, and I want to more so, but it's a very hard hard industry to market towards.
Where's Lee? She can help you out maybe. Where's she?
I'm trying to get her, yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. I'm curious to know more about your marketing campaign. So you've touched upon a range of audiences who are really excited by your products and services. I'm curious how you plan to attract those audiences and scale up. So how will you? Is it through websites, or what's your process of reaching out to these people?
As far as my student potential goes, that would be other artists working in other mediums. So I plan to advertise through art councils, through cultural centers, and through networking myself. I've already made a ton of connections, and people have expressed interest. And as I said, fine art and murals, they take a less traditional approach to market towards. So that would be going through art councils and cultural centers and finding subsidized ways to help business owners make these murals. And fine art just it comes when I have the time to make it, and I've had success online selling them.
Wesley, great presentation. If I'm going to ask you in terms of expand on your capacity, like you're a solopreneur, and you talked about your projections where your growth for each year. Again, there's only so many hours in a day, and there's you. So how do you plan to grow the business in terms of training more artists? How do you incorporate that into your business?
Yeah, so... Yeah, hiring and outsourcing my work would be the main way to do that. And I have started doing that with prep work and recently clear coat work. I don't have the time or really the facility to do those things. Also graphic design, things like that, I outsource. So it gives me a lot of free time. Thank you.
Thank you, Wesley. I think the judges are going to have to tighten up their questions. Okay, thank you, Wesley. Before we move on, we'd like to send out a big thank you to another one of our incredible sponsors, Dominic Systems Limited. Dominic Systems has been a longtime supporter of innovation and entrepreneurship in our region. They're known for delivering smart, reliable IT solutions that help businesses work better, faster, and more securely. Whether it's tech infrastructure, custom software, or just keeping things running smoothly behind the scenes, Dominic Systems is all about making sure businesses have the tools they need to grow. We're proud to have them backing this event and proud to have them in our corner as champions of Chilliwack's entrepreneurial spirit. Let's give it up for Dominic Systems Limited. Next up, we have Amy Van Bergen. Amy is a multidisciplinary artist creating bold, experimental work that explores memory, emotion, and transformation through visual storytelling. Let's give our attention to Amy.
Thank you so much. Close your eyes for a moment and picture somebody that you trust. You feel comforted by this person. Maybe you feel loyal. You find a sense of belonging when you're around them, and maybe you would even say that a part of your identity is shaped by this person. You have someone in mind? Okay. Now comb all of those feelings together and bundle them up in your mind's eye and turn them into a mango. Okay? Hang in there with me. So you've got this mango of belonging and trust in your mind, and then you notice that there's a fruit fly in it. And it's burrowing around and eating up the fruit. And then there's another, and another, and it's consuming the fruit from the inside out. Ugh. Your sense of belonging and trust is gradually being devastated. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Sorry to put you through that. I just really wanted you to get a sense of what it can feel like to grow up in church and to have your sense of trust fade away. What many are experiencing, calling it a faith deconstruction. Everyone has different fruit flies that are eating away at their mangoes. For some, it's the social injustices perpetuated by the church. For some, it's grief or abuse or total disillusionment. For me, it's all of the above, spearheaded by the fact that my pastor and co-youth leader for over a decade is in jail for child pornography. I'm Amy, and I promise it gets better from here. I'm a worship leader, poet, and performer with 14 years of experience helping communities engage faith through beauty and honesty. I'm a self-published children's book author and illustrator. Last year, I was a songwriter in residence for the City of Mission. I'm a director and producer of Common Territory, a documentary that filmed in the Chilliwack Film Festival this past fall. I have a BA and a bachelor's in biblical studies, training in musical theater, and a community development career. So I've learned how to build trust in both church and arts spaces. I offer a one-woman show that weaves together original music, songs, poetry, visual arts, and storytelling into an immersive experience that's portable enough to reach small venues, yet powerful enough to reawaken wonder and maybe even hope. Because I'm not really passionate about releasing music into the void. I'm passionate about sharing resources that saved my life when I was processing my own story. And frankly, I'm not alone in this, and no one should feel like they are. So I've spent years transforming my own journey into artwork that can help others turn something so intangible and isolating into moments of clarity, catharsis, and connection. Because my show is low tech, I can tour from the island to the Okanagan without a big investment. I just need a carload and an invitation. My niche isn't massive, but it is meaningful. Just 1% of the regional population represents over 35,000 potential touch points of people that are already seeking this out. That's before scaling online or expanding into American communities. My work is contemplative and emotionally resonant, so it naturally drives deeper audience engagement, things like word of mouth, growth, return attendance, and cross-medium interest. Because people don't just listen and leave, they chew on it, talk about it, share it, and often come back for more. I've already invested $5,000 of my own money to make this happen, but the $5,000 prize will take my foundation to the next level. With it, I'll be able to record more music and build a press kit to anchor a digital presence. I'll complete a poetry course so that my manuscript is publisher ready, and purchase AV gear so that I'm totally tour ready for any venue across the region. My milestones are already mapped out. I've got a test show coming up June 25th. You're all invited. And then I'll launch my website to be ready for paid performances starting in the fall. and then record some more music and publish my first book in early 2026. This 5,000 will accelerate every step and promote quality and trust along the way. Since overheads stay low, I expect revenue to grow each year as the show gains traction. Once established, my main costs will be marketing, travel, and more recording and book printing on demand. My work creates rare, creative, and trauma-informed spaces for people navigating very complicated doubt, grief, and isolation, while softening conflict and deepening community empathy. I'm really excited to finally be able to offer my support to the community in a sustainable way, and I'm really excited to share it with all of you. Thank you so much.
I'll start. Wow. Where do you get your energy from? Your mother, father? Where does that come from? Give me a little kind of clip of your. How'd you get here in 30 seconds?
Okay. Well, I grew up in a small town in the prairies. As I said, I have a very fraught church history, but I also continued to deepen my exploration of theology because I really believe that, true to the metaphor, maybe all the fruit has been rotten away, but a mango has a pretty big seed. So I feel like the only way now that I've gone through like 12 plus years of counseling is to turn my process of healing into something that can help my broader community with that process, because something like spiritual trauma has really only been in, a phrase since the 90s, slightly before I was born. I feel like if I'm able to give and share what I've been able to create, that means that I've actually been able to take power back and share it with the community, because there's a lot of us out here and it's rough. Thanks for asking, though.
Can you expand, first of all, thank you so much for the presentation, and I really enjoyed the metaphor. Can you expand a little bit more on your marketing of your skill or what you're offering?
Totally, yes. So I'm really well connected through a lot of churches and denominational networks and Christian colleges and nonprofits and what have you through my work and also my husband's. And so a lot of it with this topic especially comes through trust and word of mouth to begin. So I'm really glad that I've already got a test show booked at a church in Mission to really start that kind of like, oh, this lady knows how to approach these subjects sensitively. I'm also having that show professionally filmed so I can be able to offer like snippets to people, which is where the music recording and the chapbook comes in, so people can kind of have multiple entry points, but the show really anchors it. So definitely online, website, these church planting conferences and networks to begin. But upwards of that, I know there's a lot of social media presence for people engaging with this topic that has a lot of engagement online.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation, Amy. You mentioned emotionally resonant as sort of a description of the work you're doing. Can you share with us any really short vignette or any example of someone deeply influenced by your work? How did it influence them? Any specific example?
For sure. So I have produced 3 similar shows since 2018 on an ad hoc or as a fundraiser design in the past, which each raised about $2,000. But every time that I share my work in a church, because I am a worship leader and sometimes I slip my stuff in to see what happens. And people often come up to me and say, I didn't know that's what I was feeling until you said it like that. And that's really helpful. Can I have that? Can I share it with my mom or something? And I always have to go, here's my phone. But I'd really like to be able to put some dollars behind giving them something of quality that says, no, like you can trust this. And if you share this with somebody that you trust, they'll take it more seriously. So yeah, I get a lot of people coming up saying, that was really helpful for me. I've never heard it phrased like that. In a minute, I don't know if I could share a snippet to do it justice, but thanks for the question. I hope that helped.
Thank you, Amy. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Oh, well, I would really love for the show to have the credibility that people have heard of someone else who went and said, oh, I really want that to come to my community. From there, I could really see if I definitely have over 200 original songs and many more poems. So I would love to have at least 2 chapbooks of that content published and a full album. But of course, maintaining the quality of those live shows as an anchor would really be dependent on that timeline. So I see just building out the work to make more available and having more and more bookings. And I would love a cross Canada tour, whether that's in small living room venues up to colleges.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks again for your presentation. I was wondering if this is a cross-faith opportunity. Is there the opportunity to go beyond the Christian faith into Muslim or Judaism?
Yeah, good question. I feel like that would be to really, because it's such a sensitive topic, I would really lean on partnerships for that, which I already have. I live with a lot of Muslim friends and Jewish friends in a cross-cultural apartment building nonprofit setting. So we're already kind of talking about that. So I love that you're leaning into that. But I would definitely try to lead from the personal experience of my Christian evangelical upbringing. Yeah, thanks. Thank you so much.
Great job, Amy. Thank you for sharing your story. We'd also like to recognize another key partner in tonight's event, UFV's Esposito Family Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and also known as EFSI, and way easier to say. EFSI is all about sparking innovation and empowering the next generation of change makers. They provide space, mentorship, and support for students and community members who are ready to explore bold ideas and bring them to life. Whether you're launching a new product or just testing out your first business concept, EFSI is there to help turn that spark into something real. Their support for tonight's pitch event shows how committed they are to building a strong, innovative future right here in the Fraser Valley. So let's give a big hand to UFV-FC for helping us light that entrepreneurial fire. Okay, up next we have Maddie Krylicki. Maddie is a multidisciplinary creative, musician, producer, designer, and merch maker, empowering emerging artists through her initiative, No Labels. Let's hear what she's building.
Imagine you're a 17-year-old girl who dreams of becoming a musician. You pour your heart, your soul, your money, and your trust into the hands of people who promise to help you, but instead, they take advantage of you. They claim your songs, question your worth, and leave you feeling used, ashamed, and invisible. That girl was me. I'm Maddie Krylicki, founder of No Labels, a music service platform that helps artists build their careers while keeping full ownership of their work. I've been through what too many artists face, producers, writers, and companies trying to take control of my work. It left me broke, discouraged, and questioning my place in the industry. After a long period of depression, I turned to music and art to heal. I rebuilt myself through creativity, and now I help other artists by empowering them to start strong, stay independent, and fully own their work. Most emerging artists, especially those from underrepresented backgrounds, lack access to affordable, trustworthy support. I would know as a queer Indigenous woman. They're often pressured to give up their ownership or integrity just to release a song or get noticed. Many get locked into unfair contracts or can't afford professional production. This leaves them stuck, either compromising their identity or giving up entirely. The solution? No Labels. No Labels is a service-based creative platform that offers music production, songwriting, branding, merch design, and educational support, all while ensuring artists own 100% of their work. It's more than a service, it's a mentorship. Each artist walks away with professional quality music, cohesive branding, and the knowledge to move forward independently, no strings attached. I guide clients through a personalized 4-session process to launch their music careers. We start by defining their artistic identity using vision boards, playlists, and past work to shape their sound. Then we co-write, produce, and record a song that reflects who they are. Then we design album art, social media content, and custom merch, so they leave with everything they need to launch, both creatively and professionally. Each session is $500 for 8 hours of work, with full project bundles starting at $2,000. Every artist also receives a guided workbook and access to an online course that covers project planning and protecting their work, so they gain both creative assets and essential business knowledge. To show you what this looks like in action, I want to share a personal example. My own artist project, Ancient Madison, is a reflection of what's possible when artists are given the freedom to fully express their vision through no labels. The project is called You Are the Medicine, a 6-song album that explores healing from grief and trauma. Alongside the album, I'm creating a companion activity book that includes audiobook chapters, song lyrics, and reflection tools like journaling prompts. It's a full sensory experience, blending music, storytelling, and self-reflection. But this kind of work goes beyond the personal. It reflects the creativity and resilience already alive in our community. The Fraser Valley is full of talent, but too often, artists feel they have to leave to find opportunities. I'm building something from this community for this community, a space where artists can grow, collaborate, and thrive. Through this model, Chilliwack doesn't just catch up to the music industry, it leads, proving that sustainable, independent careers don't have to come from big cities or big labels. This vision is about building a new future for artists right here at home. But for it to be sustainable, it has to work, not just emotionally or artistically, but economically. I currently work out of my home studio where I have the essential equipment to produce music, design graphics, and create merch. Right now, I earn over $3,000 a month through graphic design contracts, music performances, and production jobs. By adding artist packages, merch, and book sales, I can grow that to over $5,000 a month, serving 2 to 6 artists monthly while keeping the work accessible and high quality. Here's how I'll use the $5,000 grant money to level up No Labels. First, I'll use half the money to upgrade my audio gear. I'll spend $1,000 on essential merchandise equipment and inventory, like t-shirts and printers. I'll be creating a website that features No Labels clients and other local artists with an estimated cost of $500 for the first year. And finally, $1,000 will cover creative subscriptions and social media ads to expand our reach. By doing everything in-house, I keep costs low and quality high, and I bring years of hands-on experience to every part of the process. As demand grows, I'll scale with trusted collaborators, artists, assistants, and freelancers while keeping prices accessible. My long-term goal is to open a community creative space in Chilliwack, but for now, I'm focused on building a solid foundation and serving one artist at a time. My goal is to reshape what success looks like for emerging artists, from a system that takes to a model that empowers. With no labels, every artist is a star, but together, we make constellations. Thank you for listening, and thank you for believing in local talent.
I'll start.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Maddie.
Yep.
Can you talk more about how you market and get to your audience?
Yeah, so for the most part, I meet people face to face. I attend so many concerts and local events in town, and I meet those artists face to face, and that really builds that rapport one-on-one in town. But moving forward, I plan on marketing music courses online through YouTube and free platforms where I can expand my reach even more to an online service that people can obtain and meet me and see my services through that.
Thank you for your presentation, Maddie. You touched upon project launch support, so you will be supporting artists. So I would like you to expand on that. What kind of promotional efforts will you support them with?
Yeah, so you couldn't see it on the slide, I don't think I put it in there, but on my website, every artist who I work with will get their own page on our website that we will update periodically through the creation of their project as well as after. So they get a free website that they don't have to monitor or take care of. That'll be fully on us, our responsibility to put out there. As well as all the promotional content. So we'll set up, we will create those social media templates, but also give them a timeline on the days they should post it, the time, and those kind of things that help them get that out into the world without having to think too much about how to do that themselves.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maddie. I loved your presentation.
Thank you.
How long do you see this as being able to continue as a one-person show? That's the first part. And then where would you see the need for additional staff if it gets past that point?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's interesting because as of right now, like I work an 8-hour workday doing merchandise and production on my own right now. And then after that, I do music. So like I spend all my time doing this, and I love doing that as an intro entrepreneur, of course. But the goal is to expand No Labels as a hub in general, where we can put local artists onto the directory. And then through that, I can do like a slight fee for connecting artists. I can make those fees, and then the work gets outsourced to local artists, but I'm kind of the middleman, as well as for the studio itself, hopefully to expand that into an actual physical space where I can have staff and those, kind of producers and assistants and those kind of things to help out with the bigger projects.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So I like your presentation. I love music. It's all cool. A good friend of mine, Jeff, who he still owns a Tractor Grease, I think it's a label, you could probably call that. He, back in the day, had a studio here in town on Alexander Avenue, which I attended, and he had a lot of recording artists in there. Are you hoping to maybe copy that sort of idea where some bigger bands will come in, or are you mostly going after folks, kids that are starting out? What's your plan that way?
Yeah, for me, I feel like this is mostly something to help, as of right now, emerging artists, beginner artists that have either given up or don't know where to go. That's my goal right now, and my goal is to build those artists into those bigger artists. Because if we start with that community base, those small performances, we get them out there, the community knows them, then they become the large artists. We don't need to bring in other artists from other areas. I'm not opposed to that. Of course, if it grows to that, I would love that. The collaboration is awesome, but my goal and my hope is to help those independent artists because they're so underrepresented.
So your studio is probably in your basement of your house? Is that?
It's in my apartment. I have a room for it. Yeah. But my gear is also portable, so it can go if I'm recording a rock band in a garage. I can bring all my equipment there and record it. I have the capability of doing that. And my goal is to just continually expand that. Soundproof those rooms more, get it really tight. Find rent a studio space at some point. So it's not always going to be in a room.
Do your neighbors love you?
They do. Never a noise complaint in 5.5 years. So, yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. I'm just wondering if you can give us a bit more information about how many people you're working with right now. How much time on average are you spending with them? A little bit more.
Yeah, so right now I have 4 artists who are interested in working on the program. My goal is ideally to finish each artist in about a month span, but we'll be staggering the start of their projects weekly. So then I have those projects, they're rolling on a monthly basis, but I get new ones every week, and it kind of just consistently rolls like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Maddie. Awesome. Thank you very much, Maddie. Okay, we also want to give a huge shout out to the Chilliwack Chamber of Commerce and our amazing partners in collaboration who help bring this event to life. The Chamber is a driving force behind business success in our community. They advocate, connect, and support local businesses of all shapes and sizes, and they're always showing up to champion entrepreneurs just like the ones that are pitching here tonight. Their commitment to collaboration is what makes nights like tonight possible. So let's give a big round of applause for the Chilliwack Chamber of Commerce. Okay, next up is Jessica Fairweather. Jessica is a glass mosaic artist and founder of J. Fair W. Studios. Her work weaves together painting and glasswork to explore themes of identity, healing, and connection. Let's hear from Jessica.
I'm Jessica Fairweather, and I'm here today to talk to you about my company, J. Fair W. Studios, and how it shares my passion through a multifaceted art business focused on glass mosaics. We offer commissions, classes, workshops, community projects, and the supplies to do it. No one in BC is doing what I'm doing. No one is offering glass mosaic classes, and the only store in BC that sells stained glass only sells online. For me, all I see is opportunity. J4W Studios practices diversification through art sales, instructions, workshops, and supply sales. I have over 20 years of experience making mosaics and instructing art. I bring lessons and workshops to you, complete with all supplies, tools, and worksheets. I offer the ability for students to buy their own tools and supplies directly from me. My target market is women between the ages of 40 and 60 who usually have a disposable income, who like to create, who care about their well-being and health, and appreciate the arts. Therefore, I'm currently focused on selling to art councils and societies. This is the fastest way for me to reach my target market. When I sell to an art council society, they target artists and art lovers. They also introduces me to art programmers who always think of me when they want something down the line in the future that isn't just painting ceramics or sketching. Art councils help me with advertising by their reach to all the members, brand recognition, and targeting my consumers directly. They also help me sell my classes and workshops, my artwork, and supplies. When I teach, an opportunity to showcase my skill set. When I teach, it is an opportunity to showcase my skill set and demonstrate the hard work that goes into making a mosaic. I can talk about and sell my diverse products, including instruction, commissions, and community projects. And when inevitably, at the end of the class, they ask where they can get their supplies, they can buy them from me. I also invite students to add their names to my mailing list, which of course promotes my newsletter, social media, and other future endeavors I'm into. Students often tell a friend, or even better, show off their work to them. Here are some of the strategic connections that I have made. There are over 36 art councils in the Lower Mainland, and I currently work with 10. That means that I have 26 more to go. I haven't even approached nonprofit, civic, or private sectors, including municipalities, churches, festivals, community centers, hospitals, schools, resorts, and self-treatment centers. Marketing for all this is going to start this August 15th. I will mail out my newsletter and my schedule so that people are able to sign up. I've currently also signed up for an art festival, art fair, and 2 farmers markets in late August, where I sell the classes that I already have scheduled. This also gives me the opportunity to sell my art, glass supplies, and book workshops with others at these places. My projections for this fall is $13,000 in sales, and this is very conservative as it reflects what I have scheduled as of now. My plan is to continue doing what I'm doing, following my systems and routines, because it works, and the proof is in the numbers. Total sales in 2022 were $8,000. In 23, $12,000. In 2024, $24,000. And I'm projecting for this year, $27,000. For 2026, $51,000. And in 2027, $75,000. How can $500,000 help me achieve greater success in the future? Well, my computer, I need a computer to run my business, and mine no longer turns on. I need a computer for everything from communication, data management, productivity, marketing, online presence, financial management, and sales. I'd also like to get an iPad for portable software to create templates, worksheets, designs, point of sale system, a presentation tool, and to be able to help with digital signing of documentation. I'd also like a glass grinder because it helps with more precise cuts and speeds up my commission work when I'm working with these things. I'd also like $200 for marketing that will go into my business services that will help sell my business services and classes this fall. I will need brochures and business cards to be available. Look at all these happy students. Help J4 Studios continue to share her passion for mosaics. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'll start.
Please.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm actually going to ask you a vision question. Where do you see, the same question, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I actually see myself working out of my own studio, hopefully on my own property from my house. I also look forward to having people that work under me, people that have learned about mosaics from me, and then doing the classes out and about at the different facilities that I mentioned. I'd like to sort of focus more on the I'd like to focus more on the community projects and my own creative work. Yeah.
Thank you, Jessica. Can you tell us about your geographic reach? Is it mostly around the Fraser Valley, or when you talk about your projections for 26 and 27, are you going to move beyond BC, or is it just focused on the Fraser Valley for now?
Well, right now, I'm a mother of 4, and so for me, time management is really is all about finding balance. I'm not necessarily out there to make $1 million. I'm out there to follow my passion, share what I do, and at the same time subsidize my husband and let him have some time off so that I can help raise the kids and everything else. So for right now, I'm just looking at doing this in the Lower Mainland, but I don't, eventually they're going to move out of the house, and I plan to follow those terms. And, if I have the opportunity to go around and teach at other places, I would absolutely love that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Just a quick, simple question. You mentioned that your profit percentage was 80%.
It is. It's between 60 and 80% right now.
Okay, and is that just on classes?
That's mainly, it's overall, it's on everything.
Okay, so that includes
So that's on my commission
the kit.
work, that's my classes, that's my workshops, and my art supplies.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your presentation. Maybe, for the marketing you had from the $5,200 allotted, are you looking at more funds on your own because it just seems like quite small for me that's what you're spending on marketing.
This is targeted marketing for this fall, so I don't think that I'm going to need to spend really more than $200. I'm looking to get a brochure that will outline my website and all the different things that I offer and some of the different places where I go, but I'd like to direct them to my website, because when I do that, then I get to showcase everything else that I have going on there. And then from there, they're able to sign up through my website to the different places where they can take the classes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I don't really have a question, but a comment. But being Mother of 4 and doing this on the side of your desk is admirable. I know absolutely nothing about mosaic art, but it looks pretty cool, and I congratulate you on your work to get where you've gotten to. So good luck in getting the money here tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Jessica. We are also thrilled to recognize the support of the Chilliwack Museum and Archives. The museum isn't just about preserving our past, it's about inspiring our future. Through storytelling, education, and community engagement, they help connect us to the roots of this place that we call home. And tonight, they're helping support the next generation of storytellers, our entrepreneurs. Whether it's through business, art, or innovation, we're all contributing to Chilliwack's evolving story. And thanks to the museum and archives, that story keeps getting richer. So let's give a warm thank you to the Chilliwack Museum and Archives for being part of tonight's journey. Okay, here it is. We're finally closing out the finalist pitches, and we have Brooke Cote. Brooke is a Chilliwack-based photographer known for capturing joy-filled, creative portraits from musicians, artists, and entrepreneurs, with an eye for authenticity and storytelling. Let's welcome Brooke. I thought maybe she turned the other way. I'm glad you're here, Brooke.
How Have you ever had your photo taken and thought, that doesn't look like me? You're not alone. In fact, when I asked this question, 56 out of 60 people said yes. I've felt this way most of my life. Having my photo taken used to make me shut down. I'd tense up, smile too hard, and even turn my body away from the camera. It wasn't just discomfort, it was fear. Fear of not recognizing myself in the final image. That's what inspired Brooke Michelle Photography. I wanted to create a space where people could feel seen, not just photographed. Whether you're a musician, artist, or small business owner, visuals are essential for creating a memorable brand. Your website, social media, and marketing materials depend on strong imagery to convey your story, which is why I work with clients on visuals that reflect who they truly are, helping them stand out against competitors and leave lasting impressions with their audience. I don't just deliver beautiful images. I create a guided, personalized experience. With styling, set design, and creative direction, I'm here to help find visuals that align with your personality and your values. But here's the thing. Most people never get to have that kind of experience, and not because they don't want it. I surveyed my own audience and saw clear barriers: affordability, low self-esteem, and a lack of direction. Some even felt pressure to conform to current trends, even if those trends didn't reflect who they really are. This tells me the problem isn't just about photography. It's about confidence, clarity, and real connections. Most traditional studios are designed to be broadly appealing, with neutral set designs, minimalistic edits, and fast turnaround. But in playing it safe, their visuals often just blend together. They're polished, but not personal. My approach? Intentional disruption. I work with clients who want to be remembered, not just represented. Together, we create content you're proud to share, content that reflects your true identity, whether that's soft and ethereal or bold and edgy. It's these key brand words and collaborative mood boards that inspire our color palette, styling, props, and visual effects. These aren't one-size-fits-all shoots. They're purposeful and carefully curated. Every decision is grounded in your unique story. And that's what makes my clients and their brands truly unforgettable. I know photography can feel out of reach, so I make it more accessible by offering flexible payment plans, sustainable styling, and repurposed props. Every session feels intentional, collaborative, and uniquely you. My photography currently runs a one-to-one service model out of my home studio, working directly with clients who pay upfront or through custom payment plans. My fixed expenses include essential tools like editing software, website, and business cards, whereas my variable expenses include wardrobe, props, and backdrops, all tailored to bring each client's vision to life. I'm asking for a $5,000 investment to elevate my business across 3 main areas. First, I'll expand my gear with additional lighting, lens tools, and backdrops to allow my clients more creative, high-end options. Second, I'll maintain essential software and marketing services that keep my workflow efficient, my editing tools current, and my online presence strong. And third, I'll work with a professional graphic designer as I transition out of lifestyle and fully into the editorial space. Every dollar is going directly towards leveling up both the quality and the reach of my business. Right now, my services are a part-time passion, averaging 4 clients per month at $400 each. That's about $1,600 monthly revenue without any paid marketing. Once I transition to full-time in 2026, I anticipate doubling client capacity while also raising my hourly rate. With more availability, better tools, and targeted branding, I'm confident this number will grow even higher. What I deliver goes beyond visuals. It's a launch pad. Clients walk away with marketing-ready content, a clear brand identity, and most importantly, a boost in confidence. And with that confidence comes power, the ability to step forward, promote their work, and create something instantly recognizable. Professional branding shouldn't just be about looking good. It should be about you.
Okay, I'll start. Being somebody that hates being on the other side of a camera,
I feel you.
I'm totally not photogenic. I just get this done so I can go away. How did you get to where you're at? How long you been doing this? Your pictures that you show on your gallery there are exceptional.
Thank you.
I didn't see a picture of me there, but which is good. But just
we could change that.
I'm just curious.
Funny enough, I was never considering photography as a career. That was not in the scheme of things I had envisioned for my future. I was fortunate enough to meet a partner who is a musician, and I got to watch their story unfold in a way that really lit me up inside. Having their photo taken by other photographers, namely being in the city, we were finding these photos weren't representing her in the way that I saw her, that she saw her, and it was really difficult for me to sit back and watch this misrepresentation, and I wondered how we could stray so far from who I knew her to be and what was actually shown from a visual perspective, if that makes sense. I think we weren't highlighting these qualities that I saw in her, and that really inspired me to break down that barrier and get more genuine on camera.
You did that for how long?
I started my business about 3 years ago, coming up on 3.5 here.
Hi, thank you so
Hi.
much. Myself too, I really enjoy your photos.
Thank you.
I wanted to find a little bit more out about, are you primarily targeting Fraser Valley, looking at Vancouver, like what now, what for
Yeah.
the future? Also, have you come to, I think you talked about this last week too, is focusing on business clients instead of other types of photography?
Yeah. When I initially started my business, it was exploring photography, taking on really any client I can to build my portfolio. So doing family, lifestyle. I've done a number of weddings. Shout out Nicole's niece. But I was finding through that work, I wasn't feeling fulfilled with what my strengths are, which is connecting with people and working with people on a broader level, especially with things that are more unconventional. And I find I have a little unorthodox approach to branding and advertising, which I feel is very specific to me. And I love bringing that out in other people. So I really feel that is kind of my strength and my area for my business. And as far as to answer your question for if I'm working locally or extending, I have worked with musicians already who are based out of Vancouver on album art and branding for them. I'm not opposed to expanding my reach, but right now I really am focusing on Chilliwack. I have a lot of confidence in our growing community, even just seeing the group of people I've met through this program. I've actually done visuals for a few of the members that did present and also some that didn't make it to finals. So that would be my target, is supporting our local entrepreneurs, especially with our district and the uprise in new businesses coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Brooke. Can you walk me through step by step from you first get a new client? How do you find out who they are? What's your step-by-step process?
Yeah, so it begins right at the first interaction, as you said. That can be done either in person or through reaching out on any of my social media platforms. I like to start with a bit of a questionnaire or intake form to get to know them, their business, or their brand. We choose keywords together. That's a really core component for me. I find I can deliver the best results if I have a small section of words to choose from, so I know which aesthetic or general direction and which color palettes will really mend well with what their end result is. So mostly an intake questionnaire. From there, then we look at, okay, here is our concept. I will pitch you a few mood boards to associate it. We land on one concept together, and then we will go through either my existing client wardrobe and props that I own. I do own quite a collection at this point, and I repurpose a lot of what I use to make it fit new concepts as much as I can to remain cost effective. So we will plan with my pre-existing wardrobe and props or with things that the clients actually own as well, and we can incorporate together. So we will do a lot of planning there. If there's sourcing to be done, I'm right now responsible for sourcing that wardrobe and props, which is something that's taken into consideration for their fee as well. So that is technically coming out of what they are paying, that $400. Some of that is allotted towards my shopping for them.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, John. Nope.
Good job. I'm a stickler to time. Well, that was our final pitch for the evening. What a great group of stories, and amazing to see how the entrepreneurs are supporting each other through this cohort and participating in each other's businesses. But before we go any further, I want to give everyone a heartfelt thank to someone who's been a huge supporter of Chilliwack's entrepreneurial scene, Tim McAlpine of Cowork Chilliwack and Studio C, where we sit tonight. Tim has created more than just a workspace. He's built a community. Cowork Chilliwack is a hub where ideas collide, businesses grow, and connections are made over coffee and whiteboards. Tim's passion for supporting startups and creatives is felt by everyone who walks through these doors. We're so grateful for your ongoing support, your generosity, and your belief in what we're building here. Tim has been behind the scenes all evening, making sure our tech runs smoothly, and we're so grateful to him and the Cowork team for letting us use this fantastic studio space tonight. I told him he had to flash the lights when I was saying that, and I don't think he did. Yeah, not on me. Tim, thank you for making this event possible. So let's give a big round of applause for Tim. And if we can give all 6 finalists another big round of applause for their courage, creativity, and the powerful visions they've shared with us tonight. I think they're out there already. So thank you again to all of our participants. And you'll see a list here of every participant we had in the Startup Challenge. And there's a good crew of them back there. We're going to take a step away right now while the judges are going to deliberate and make their final decision. We're going to take a 25-minute break just to keep us on time. And during this time, we invite you to mingle and connect with the artists and your fellow guests. Enjoy the drinks and appetizers that are out there. And most importantly, I want to make sure you cast your vote for the People's Choice Award. Look inside your program. You'll see the ballot paper clipped into the program. And then you'll find that ballot box at the entrance. So vote for your favorite pitch of the night. The artist who receives the most votes will be announced later this evening and will take home the $750 People's Choice Award. We'll see you back here shortly for the big reveal. Hey, welcome back, everyone. Oh, we have our finalists sitting over in the corner. So exciting. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. Welcome back. I hope you had a chance to connect and enjoy some refreshments. And I think I made everybody cast their vote, so we're good there. What an incredible evening this has been. I'm supposed to close this door. That wasn't in the script, but I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. Thank you again for being here and to celebrate our local artists and the entrepreneurs that we had the absolute privilege of supporting through this journey. And tonight, it's not just about our finalists. It's also about celebrating all the artists who took part in the 2025 Art Startup Program. These past 8 weeks, and 16 local creatives committed their time and energy to building sustainable businesses rooted in the art. Every single one of them brought something unique to this challenge, and we're so proud of what they've all accomplished. After we announce our winners, we're going to bring and ask every of the participants to come up to the stage and come and celebrate and get a group photo at the front. And I'll move the TV back so we have some space. So, are you ready? Are we excited? I want to get to the moment that we've all been waiting for. And we're going to start out with the People's Choice Award tonight. So, voted on by you, our audience, for your favorite pitch of the evening. The recipient tonight of the $750 People's Choice Award is Maddie Kurlecki. Come on. Congratulations, Maddie.
Thank you. Oh, do I make a speech?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, thank you to the people for making me your choice. Yay! No, but for real, I have grown up in Chilliwack. I love art. I left Chilliwack for a few years and I came back and really focused on rebuilding myself as an artist, and to get voted by the people here just means everything to me. So let's keep growing art in Chilliwack, in the Fraser Valley. That's the goal. Let's go. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. And now the grand finale. So the winner of the 2025 Art Startup Challenge. This person is going to receive a $5,000 prize pack of cash. And as, I don't know if anybody here noticed, but JL is the executive director for the Chilliwack Art. Thank you. I sit on the board. I should know this. It's pretty bad. For the Chilliwack Cultural Center, thank you, JL. And he was so impressed by all of the presentations this evening that he was inspired to come and reach out to Lisa and I immediately as we were trying to walk out the door and get everybody moving, to say that the Chilliwack Cultural Center would like to offer a artist in residency at the Cultural Center for the winner of the Art Startup Challenge. So thank you very much, JL. So it's kind of how we fly around here. It's just like flying by the seat of our pants. Lisa and I, what are we going to do? Well, let's just add this in. So thank you. It's very exciting. And so I think it might be time to get to the winner. The winner is Brooke Cote. I have a big giant check for you, but we didn't get on that. We weren't ready for that.
Wow, I was not ready to give a speech and speak again. Thank you so much for the belief every time I wanted to quit, because I was working so hard out of our apartment. Every time I convinced myself not to quit really brings this moment to a full circle for me. And as some of you that don't know, Maddie is my wonderful fiance. I would not have the business that I have and the inspiration that I have now without Maddie being a part of my life and really inspiring me to help other artists any way that we can. It's something we're both super passionate about and have spent the last 5 years together working towards. So to see it where it is today, and I remember meeting Maddie 5 years ago and saying, we're gonna start a studio and a label. And I think all of our friends and family, I said, I'm quitting my job in dental on the spot. And they said, no, you're not. So to be here now is really rewarding. So thank you for the belief. And I hope I get to see some of you in front of the camera.
Awesome job, Maddie. Great work. All right. Business is already happening. We're so proud of all our finalists and the participants. And I'll tell you that the judging was very close. The deliberation in the room was, no, I want this person. No, I want this person. No, I think this person. And they really had to come and talk through how they were going to make a good decision. So thank you to the judges for being kind and respectful of each other, And we just really appreciate the time and the effort that you've put into this. Thank you to all of the participants for sharing your creativity, your vision, and your courage with us tonight. This is what community-driven innovation looks like. So, as we wrap up this unforgettable evening, I want to offer one more heartfelt thank you to everyone who made tonight possible. To our finalists and participants, your courage, creativity, and drive are truly inspiring. To our judges, thank you for lending your insight and experience to help shape the future of these ventures. And to our sponsors, and these are the sponsors of our Startup Challenge that we've done two. This is our second this year, so this is our full list of sponsors. But for the Art Startup Challenge, SEPCO, Dominic Systems, the Esposito Family Center, the Chilliwack Chamber of Commerce, the Chilliwack Museum and Archives, and Cowork Chilliwack. Thank you for backing creative entrepreneurship in our community. To our partners at the Chilliwack Arts Council, and especially to Lise Oakley, thank you for your vision and commitment to the local arts scene. And to all of you, our guests, for supporting your entrepreneurs, supporting your friends, and our community, and those turning in on YouTube live stream. Thank you for being here and helping us celebrate what's possible when creativity and community come together. And especially, I'd like to say thank you to my team, to Julia, Teresa, Hillary, Michaela, all key pieces to the Community Futures network and the impact on the entrepreneurial ecosystem. I also have my board members here tonight because we had a board meeting earlier this evening, so I made most of them come. So thank you to my board members for your support and commitment to the Community Futures network. We all can't wait to see what these artists are going to build next. So, for those of you viewing on YouTube, we're now going to sign off. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you at the next Startup Challenge.